Welcome to another exciting episode of Living in the Moment, where we dive into the world of politics, culture, and everything in between. And remember, if you want to get inspired, if you want to create, well, you've come to the right place. Let's get started. Today, we're going to talk about someone who's making waves in the world of content creation, politics, and public service, Don Bongino. You might know him from his popular radio show, his podcast, or maybe even from his explosive presence on YouTube and Rumble. But there's something deeper about this man, a story that not only makes you think about the kind of career path he's built, but also raises questions about what really matters when it comes to balancing success, money, and purpose. Now, if you follow Dan Bongino for any amount of time, you know that his journey hasn't been a simple one. He started as a NYPD officer, worked his way into the Secret Service, and now he's about to take on a major role in the Trump administration as the Deputy Director of the FBI. Quite the leap, right? And what's even more impressive is that he's made his decision despite the fact that he's leaving behind something truly remarkable: his incredibly successful career as a content creator. Now here's the kicker. The kind of money Dan Bongino is making in his current role as a content creator is shocking. I mean, we all know that content creators can make quite a penny, can make a pretty penny, but seeing the numbers lay out really puts things into perspective. Recently, I was watching some of my favorite shows, the Megyn Kelly show and the Barry Cunningham show. Both of them have incredible insights into the world of content creation and influencer economics. Megyn Kelly, she gave a hint about Dan Bongino's income. Now, she didn't give us a full breakdown, but you could feel that she was alluding to the fact that he's making a lot more than most of us would think. But it was Barry Cunningham during his show, Barry Cunningham, who really put it into perspective. Barry, who's a content creator himself, broke down the estimated annual earnings of someone like Dan Bongino. And let me tell you, it's jaw-dropping. According to Barry, when you factor in all of Dan's revenue streams, his radio shows, his podcasts, his YouTube and Rumble presence, and even his live streaming, the total comes out to somewhere around 2 to 3 million per year. Dan Bongino is able to at least attract 150,000 to 200,000 viewers on live streaming. And his shows easily appeal to over 1 million viewers. Aren't those amazing numbers that you wish it was you who accomplished that? I would. That's right. $2 to $3 million a year in earning. When I first heard that, I was stunned. We always hear about people making a lot of money online. But to actually see it broken down like this is a wake-up call. It's one of those moments where you realize just how much potential there is out there in the world of content creation. No wonder people are flocking to create their own channels. It's not just a hobby, it's a legitimate career. But here's the part that really got me thinking. Despite all of this, despite the millions of dollars Dan Bongino's he's earning as a content creator, Dan Bongino is stepping away from it all to serve his country, the United States of America. He's going to take on the role of Deputy Director of the FBI, which is expected to pay somewhere between $150,000 to $200,000 a year. Now that's a pretty big pay cut, don't you think? Now I want to be clear. This move speaks volumes about Bongino's character. He's someone who's deeply patriotic, and it's evident in the way he's answered the call to serve in a major government role. But there's also something to be said about the kind of foresight this guy has. His background as a Secret Service agent, his understanding of the political landscape, and his ability to communicate effectively all play into this. Think about it. Dan Bongino's experience in the FBI, and especially working alongside people like Kash Patel, will only add more layers to his already robust political knowledge. And with this role, it's likely that his show will get even more intense, more political, and offer a unique behind-the-scenes perspective that only someone with his experience can provide. But let's pivot for a second. Let's talk about something that's been on my mind lately. You see, after hearing these numbers, I started thinking, how long would it take someone like you or me to build a successful content creation business? What does it take to make it big in this world? I've got a lot of people around me who are always talking about starting their own channels, their own YouTube channels, or Rumble channels, or podcasts. My nephew, even my friend's kid, they all say they want to get in on the content creation game. And hey, who can blame them? With numbers like this, it's easy to see why. But here's the thing. Building a channel from scratch is no easy feat. It could take years, and honestly, 10 years might not be far-fetched. The key to success, I think, is not starting out by focusing on the money. If you're looking for a quick payday, this might not be the right path for you. No, what you really need is passion. You need to have a passion for something you love, something that excites you, something that makes creating content feel like a hobby and not a job. Think about it. When you're passionate about something, sharing it with the world doesn't feel like a chore. It's fun. It's fulfilling. But let's not kid ourselves. The reality of being a content creator is that it is a lot of work. It takes consistency, effort, and a dedication to producing quality content. And let's face it, that's not always easy. So while it's important to find joy in creating, it's also crucial to understand that you have a responsibility to your audience. It's not a game. It's a serious job too. But that doesn't mean you should let the pressure of responsibility crush the fun. Despite, there's a bit of responsibility as a content creator. Maybe not a bit. There is responsibility as a content creator, especially if you are a big influencer. So you've got to find a balance, because doing nothing and just sitting on the sidelines, that's not an option. You miss out on so much if you don't try. Even if you start small, every great journey begins with a single step. So, my advice to anyone out there who's thinking about creating content is this. Don't let fear kill your ambition. Don't wait for the perfect moment. There's really not a perfect moment. It's almost like traders on the stock market. You cannot time the market. Take the leap. Create something you're passionate about, or some topics that you think has appeal to an audience. Share your ideas, your beliefs, your knowledge, your experiences. There's no better time than now. And if you never try, you'll always wonder, what if? Well, let me tell you, there's no what if in this world. You either do it or you don't. And I'm telling you, you won't know unless you try. So, take that first step. Who knows? You could be the next Dan Bongino, or even bigger. But regardless of where you end up, remember, it's not just about the money. It's about building something meaningful. And if you truly love it, if you truly love what you're doing, success will follow. All right. That's all I have for today. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hey, leave me a comment below. What's your passion? And how are you going to start sharing it with the world? Let's talk about it. Thank you.